after a night game. O'Neill Cruz leads off. Luis Severino's first pitch is low and inside, and we're underway. Cruz is 0 for his last 14.
Then the curveball's down in the dirt.
And the fastball at 96 in for a strike.
That shouldn't happen with a young player.
And he hits a ground ball toward the middle. Nice backhand stop by McNeil. The throw, though, is offline, backed up by Alvarez, and so Cruz will have to stop at first base. Did he take a turn? The Mets are going to tag on. And now Brian Reynolds, who's DHing today. And he pops one up into shallow center field. Out goes Lindor. And called off by Nimmo. Lindor does a great job on those of getting out of the
way. We talked about the guys off the bench. He's out there in right field, getting the start.
Here's Connor Joe, who has 7 career pickoffs. He's always been good at controlling the running game because he's very fast.
Play was the first base umpire. That's Alex McKay.
Joe takes a cutter down. It's 2-1. He's to the Pirates' fast start, although they've been derailed the last 2 days in New York. And a cutter for a strike, and it's 4 to make his outing a little more strenuous. And like so many Mets starters, he couldn't go more than 5 innings because long hold. He's running, and it's grounded from McNeil. Has to reverse direction. Can't make the tag on Cruz. Gets the out at first. Now, they call Cruz for running out of the baseline. He went past the bag. Looked like he hurt himself, and he's tagged out. Second inning, Rowdy Tellez leads off against Luis Severino. He's not hit for much power early on, just 1 home run in his first 48 at bats.
He's off to a bad start, 229.
Good changeup by Severino, and it's 1-2. 5 degrees with light overcast. Changeup just down, 2-2. Well, last year was clearly a disaster for Severino. The numbers against his 4-seamer. Knocks it down, doesn't know where it is, but has time with Tellez running, and it gets away from Alonso, and Tellez is safe. And Severino, after gap in performance with his #1 pitch. He misses up and away to Olivares, ball 1.
Well, I always fear starting pitchers. That's always a good thing.
Right. They had a crossroads of their career.
Yeah.
30 years old, 31. Can I get it back?
Well, he had a couple of fabulous years with the Yankees, 2017, 20. To the starters doing their job. And that miss just low and away. Waiting on deck. And he's swinging a miss through a 97-mile-an-hour fastball by Olivares. 0 for 3 in this series. And he takes a strike. Got a 793 OPS and 26 home runs. That one is snagged by Alonso with a headlong dive, and he gets the out.
Sure.
Here's Jared Triolo, and he takes a slider off the outside corner. Out with some back issues. So both teams have their young third baseman on the sidelines today. Today's City Community Home Runs fan of the game is Daniel from New. Triolo takes a cut and comes up empty. 1-2 coming. And Triolo lays off the slider, 2-1. 2-2 coming. Struck him out. Another fastball blown by him.
But they also talk about his makeup and the way he adjusts on the fly. And last night was a perfect example because
Williams. Pirates have now had the leadoff man on 3 straight innings without hitting the ball out of the infield in any of them. Sorry, Steve, we interrupted you when the catcher's interference happened.
Last night, what I was going to say is he got jumped by Charlotte as Davis takes off, foul ball, so everybody resets. The type of stuff that really separates you. It's not just about the results, but how you're getting those results in AAA when you talk about an event.
Well, the question is, a young pitcher, Scott's probably at the top of the list. Meanwhile, Jose Buto, Lika Williams looked good at the plate in this series, and he lines that one into center field for a base hit. Davis to second, so Lika Williams with his second hit of the series. This guy was the #1 draft pick. First time up, then was shaken up as he slid into second. He lines one hop to McNeil. He recovers, gets the out at second. The relay by Lindor in time for the double play.
Didn't really run like maybe that tag where he got hurt in that double play.
So a runner at third with 2 out. Brian Reynolds slices one toward the hole. Tough play for Lindor, running around and he has no play. And the first run of the game comes home. Very similar to Reynolds' hit that gave the Pirates the first run last night. The Mets give him that in all 3 games in this series. Now Connor Joe will try and get another run in. And he swings and misses at a fastball. Base, he should have retouched first base. The umpires didn't see it and the Mets did not see it. When you go past a base, no matter which base, but the Mets didn't see it and neither did the umpires. 1-2 to Connor Joe. 1-2 to Connor Joe. And that's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A catcher's interference call led to the first run. And a slider well out of the strike zone. 3-2.
They tell you.
That's just outside ball 4. And so Joe draws a walk. And he gets first pitch breaking ball for a strike. The first time in his career he's been called for catcher's interference. Tellez hits one out to left, but right at Nimmo, and he's got it to end the inning. So the Pirates get just the.
And I learned a valuable lesson from Ron, and that is he lost bat there.
Well, his head was even more disproportionate with his body then. Run in the third, and then got 2 runs in support for Marte's home run. As a slider misses away, 1-2. Going home to play the Red Sox tomorrow night. Boy, Boston just can't get out of their own way.
Can't catch the
2-2 coming. And slider outside, 3-2. When did players stop having
leagues? No, of course not. Number one, no one would want a room with me.
Ball 4 to Oliver.
pretty cool.
Here's Jack Sawinski. So the Pirates have the leadoff man on. Hanzo his first time up.
Let me check that. That was a negotiable item.
On the road, please.
And what's the difference between a junior suite and a regular suite?
I never want a table, a little bit more space. That's all I needed.
What did you do with the table? Did you like host a dinner party? Severino behind on Sawinski, 3-1 after walking the leadoff hitter. And he fouls back the high fastball, 3-2.
Let me just put in, I needed the extra space.
Olivares not running. Sawinski fouls it off. Well, if it were and the traveling secretary.
Arthur had a big room all the time.
Grounded to the left side, charging is short, shovels it to Lindor, and he bobbles it on the transfer, but they get the out.
And the same way for a long time. That's why I called by the umpires. Anytime they see the hands coming apart, they call them.
Jared Triolo struck out his first time up, and he hits a soft ground ball. Short's going to have to hurry with this one, and he got him by a stride.
Whoa, what?
Appreciating his defense this afternoon.
So 2 out, a runner in scoring position for Henry Davis, who reached on catch.
That doesn't count, and then the catcher's in the
That's a wild pitch. That doesn't count either, but the runner goes to third. Do you think that when players stopped having roommates, it changed team?
When certain players, superstars, didn't stay at the hotel with the team, and there were a few.
Is that the same? 2-2 to Davis, fouled back.
The team doesn't even know we exist.
No, I'm saying from our team.
Oh.
Right? We all stay at one hotel. We had a broadcaster who used to stay at a 2 out. Severino tried to dance through another jam. And a half swing, and he went around strike 3. Severino not level.
And I didn't politic.
Have you been up there?
I have not been up yet.
Have you ever been to the promenade level? That's did a couple of games.
It used to be the Jack Daniels place, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
No? Oh, it's out there.
Okay. And the 108 burger. Why is it called the 108 burger?
First of all, the Mex burger has Monterey. I love Monterey Jack.
Oh, the 108 burger has pastrami.
Oh,
That's hit up the middle. Lindor is there to grab it. And he throws out Alika Williams for the.
I like spicy.
He likes it hot.
It's good for this tummy too. Ask Gelbs.
But okay.
Russ, how are your forearms getting tired?
And lollipops. Russ, what are you doing? You're just hanging around?
He's the he's the official.
I got to test it.
How does one test it without eating it? What does that mean? 2-1 to O'Neill Cruz, and he fouls one away. It's 2-2.
It's his best swing.
You have to keep the mic on. You can take a couple of pitches off to do your due diligence.
We got a one-run ball game.
2-2 from Severino, and Cruz hits it toward the hole. That's going to go through for a base hit. So O'Neill Cruz, who had an infield hit back in the first, now gets one to the outfield. So he's had a much better game of play he hit to win the third. He really smoked. Here's Reynolds, who gets tied up on the cutter but stopped the swing. 1-0.
And they're pitching Reynolds inside.
And now throws and not getting much beyond 5 innings. And that's low ball 4, and now Reynolds is on with a walk 1. And Joe hits it down to third, a chance for 2. Short to second. McNeil on the first. Double play, side retired. Severino faces Rowdy Tellez leading off in the 6th inning. And he pops the first pitch foul back and out of play. Tellez does an infield hit through 5. The Mets have had only 3 starts in the Mets have Jorge Lopez up in the bullpen. And Tellez fouls off. And it's still a hit.
I mean, and because of Garrett, big strikeout number.
Out 17 of his 31 batters. That's crazy. There's a strikeout for Severino on the slider. That's his 4th. So 1 out and nobody on. Now Edward Olivares, and he hits ground ball right at McNeil. 2 out. Let's check in with the studio. Gary Apple has a game break. There's Jack Sawinski. He takes a strike. First win went 6 strong innings for the win for the Giants.
One of their up and coming young pitchers. I don't know why this sticks in my mind from last year, but Dawg&Hen.
Well, I would say this. The fan base was screaming for them to release him. Lack of production. A lot of people wanted to see him gone. Now he's an integral member of their incredibly talented lineup, which is now missing.
Today's game, though.
2-2 coming to Sawinski. And he fouls back the fastball. Makes sense to pump. But he lines that fastball to center field. Bader comes on to get it, and that retires the side. First 1, 2, 3 inning.